Well, welcome in the kitchen. I'm Lynne, the crafty cook, for those of you who are new and did not know that. Welcome. A big welcome to one and all. Today, it's starting to get fall. I know, I'm a summer girl. I love the summer, but where I live, we do have all four seasons, sometimes in one day, they say. So, today we're going to make some apple butter. Not just any apple butter, red hot candy apple butter. And this will taste a lot like, you know, the apples you get at the carnival or the fair that have the red coating on them. The candy apples, not the caramel, but the candy apples. That's what this will taste like. So, what we need are apples. Can y'all see my apples over here in the sink? I washed them. They're all draining nicely. And I've got a big pot back here, my great big pot. I don't know if y'all can see it or not. Got a scale because we're going to weigh out 8 pounds of apples. We need our red hot candies. And I'm going to use my handy dandy apple peeler that I've had for a long time. Came from Pampered Chef. You can get other kinds, but this one is very old. At least 25 years old, I guess. And we need apple juice and some sugar. All right, so let's start weighing out our apples. And I use a combination of apples. I've got Red Delicious, I've got Yellow Delicious, and I've got Honey Crisp. So I try to use a combination of the 3 types of apples. You can use any combination you want to of any kind of apple you want to. If you've got apple trees, then that's right at 5 pounds right there. So we're going to get us 3 more. Usually if you grow your own apples or there's an apple orchard close by where you can go pick apples, then I say go pick apples. Well, right there, it's going to take every one of these apples that I've got washed. So I can put this away and we can start to peeling. You can make this in a crock pot, but it does take a while, and your crock pot may not hold this entire recipe. So we're going to start peeling these apples. Let me show y'all how to do this handy dandy apple peeler. Take your apple and put it stem side in, right like that. Put your hand right here to hold it, and then just start turning. And it peels them and cores them and slices them so that they're all the same thickness, so that, can y'all see this? They're all the same thickness. This is a great way to do if you're making an apple pie. You want your apples to all cook at the same, get all done at the same time, not have some that are not quite as done. We'll do another one here. There we go. It takes the core out of the middle. Sometimes you're left with a little piece. These apples are so sweet, y'all. Look at this. Makes apple spirals. If you can get it to do that without breaking your apple apart. See? Isn't that cute? All right, I'm going to finish cutting up these apples, and I'll be right back. All right, we don't have our apples all peeled yet, but I don't want them to turn brown. So I'm going to add some lemon juice right here in my big pot, and I'm going to fill this pot with water. Okay? That way they won't turn brown while I'm getting them all peeled, because I don't want brown apples. All right, so I've got them in lemon juice water, and I'll drain that off before I get ready to cook it. I'll come back when I get my apples all peeled, okay? Okay, here are our apples. 8 pounds of apples, or 7 quart. This is a 7-quart pot, so I've got 7 quarts of apples. Now I'm gonna add apple juice, and I'm gonna add 4 cups of apple juice. And I know that sounds like a lot, but this will cook down and sweeten this. So if you're low sugar, no sugar, whatever, you can add more apple juice and it will concentrate down and sweeten it even more. I put just a little bit of sugar in mine, but not a lot. All right, and we'll take this over here to the stove. I'll take y'all first. All right, here y'all go, right here at the stove. Now let me get our apple pot. All right, we're gonna put these on here and turn them on high to get them good and hot. And I'm gonna sprinkle in here just a little bit of salt, about a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of salt rather. Just a pinch, because you don't want much. And we are going to add 1.5 cups of sugar. Now see, I told y'all you won't need a whole lot of sugar. And that's not much for 8 pounds of apples. And this is a 1/2 cup scoop. So I'm gonna put 3 in here. There we go. There's our sugar. Now I'm gonna get me a big wooden spoon here, or a paddle or something to stir this with. Oh, it's a big wooden paddle. And what you want to do is just cook these until they are till there's just nothing there but just applesauce, pretty much. Because right here we're just making the applesauce. And you all can just applesauce like this. And like I said, you can do apple butter, applesauce. But you see, I'm just kind of crunching them up in here. Just kind of breaking them up a little bit better. So the smaller the pieces, the quicker they'll cook. Plus, you want them all down in that juice so that they don't turn brown on you. Because we want our apple butter to be red, candy apples, not brown apple butter. A couple of pieces of peel I got in there from the apples. Y'all can see I'm getting them down in this pot better. I did drain the water and the lemon juice off of them. But I will add a little bit of lemon juice to this. About maybe a couple tablespoons or so. You don't need a whole lot. Do you see how I'm getting all these down in this juice here? Like I said, you can do it in the crock pot, but just know that your apples will probably turn brown. That's okay. We do not add our red cinnamons until the end. It's getting hot here, so my daughter called yesterday. She said, "Mama, I'm gonna make potato skins and something else," and wanted me to kind of walk her through how to do that. And I did. And I asked her last night how it was. They had a party, football party. And I asked her how it was. She said they were really good. So when she comes home, I told her, I said, we'll have to make them and do a video so y'all see how she did her football food, party food. Our team lost yesterday, which is kind of really disappointing, but they'll bounce back, I'm sure. This is early in the season and so forth, so. All right, as this starts to get warm, I'll bring y'all back and show you how it's cooking, okay? Okay, see, they're starting to cook, starting to boil. Now then, I'm gonna add a little bit of butter. Helps with the foaming, plus it'll keep them from boiling over. If you run a ring of butter around the top of your pot, it'll keep them from boiling over. There's all kinds of different little methods, but that's the one I use. Just add a stick of butter here. And I will show you what I do with this. I'm going to cut off about 2 tablespoons. About 2 tablespoons right there. I can get the wrapper off of it. All right. We'll get me a fork. I'm going to put my butter right there on my fork. And I'm going to go right around the top edge of this pot. Right like this. Right like this. And then I'm going to put the rest of it right there in the middle. All right, I've got these down on about medium. And I don't know how long it'll take them to cook, but you want them to cook down. Cook way down. And then we will add, let's go ahead and add our lemon juice. I'm going to add a couple tablespoons of lemon juice. About 2 tablespoons. There's 1. And there's 2. All right. And with the lemon juice that the apples soaked up while I was peeling them, that'll be plenty. But you want just a little bit of tart in there, and that's what that lemon juice does. Some people use vinegar. You can use lemon juice or vinegar. Apple cider vinegar probably would be very good. But I like the lemon. So, all right, when this all cooks down and gets thick, I'll bring y'all back and show you how we finish it up, put it in our jars, and seal them up, okay? Okay, see how this is cooking down? Y'all see down in there good? They're just cooking down. I'm going to take a potato masher, just an old timey potato masher, and start mashing them just like this. If you have an immersion blender and you want to use that, feel free to do that. You can take them out and put them in a blender or a food processor. But as they cook down, I find just to take a potato masher through them does great. So that's what I'm going to do right now. They've still got to cook a little bit longer before we finish them up, maybe another 20 or 30 minutes. Y'all, this is an easy process, but a long process. But it's worth it. It is so worth it. Y'all can see how it's getting thick. Let me grab a spoon so you can see how thick it is. See? But some of those apples are not quite cooked yet. So as they, ouch, that's hot. So as they continue to cook, turn it down just a little bit more. Like I said, they need to cook just a little bit longer. And I'll keep mashing with the potato masher. And then we'll finish it up here in just a little bit. Okay, y'all, I believe this is about ready. I turned it on down, but it's getting real thick. So I'm going to show you how we finish it off here. Turn these jar lids on so they can get good and hot. And see, I'm just taking the back of this wooden spoon, and there are some larger pieces, and I'll just take them and mash them up against the side of the pot, and they just fall to pieces. So it does not take much to do that. Like I said, if you've got an immersion blender, you could blend this up in just no time flat. And I do have one at the other house. I've not brought it here yet. I probably need to go get that. Put it on my list of things the next time I go there to bring. Because it would really help with this. But this is working. This works just fine. You don't have to have one. And if you've got a little chunk of apple in there, that works just fine. All right, now then, I'm going to put in the other 6 tablespoons of butter. Okay? Drop that right in there. And I have got 2 cups, or a little more than 2 cups, of these cinnamon red hots. I'm going to add that, and I'm going to add one more bag, which is, these are 4.5 ounce bags. Four and a half ounce bags. Let's see. So there's about 2.5 cups of cinnamon red hots and that butter. Now this is what makes it candy apple red. Oh, and now it begins to smell like cinnamon. And this is all you have to do, y'all. 4. All right, y'all, let's taste it and see if we've got enough sugar in it. See if we got enough cinnamons in it. I believe we have it just about perfect. So we're going to jar this up here as soon as all these little red hots melt. You can still see a few of them in there on the top. We want them all to melt. There's a piece of apple peel. And we'll just leave it in there. Just add a little character to it. Some people do not peel their apples when they make apple butter. I do. But you can substitute. I put apple juice. You can use apple cider. That's what you've got. Either one works just fine. And turn this back up just a little bit. It's not quite melting those good. So I put 5 of these small bags, 4.5 ounce bags of these little red hots in there. So that's what I used. And I used 5 bags. If you can find the boxes, sometimes you can buy them in the boxes, the theater boxes, you know. I usually put 4 of those in there, but they weigh more. There's more in those boxes than there is in these bags. So, but look how pretty that is. Isn't that pretty? That'd be pretty on a holiday table or in a gift basket. I'm going to gift some of this for Christmas gifts. We'll let this cook down just a little bit more again because that butter added a little liquid and the Red Hots made it a little liquidy. It's not quite as thick as I want it now, so I'm going to let it cook down just a little bit more. My jars are in the oven. They are hot. All right, let me clean some of this stuff up and get ready to jar it up. Okay, it cooked about another 10 minutes. Now it's time to put it in our jars. And I got various and sundry sizes because this is just what we've used of other jams and stuff already that I made this year. So we're going to start with our little jars. You want to scoop down in there all the way to the bottom and get out. There you go. There's one. Because your fruit will sink to the bottom. So you want to be sure you get all your fruit out of the bottom. There's 2. Oh, you've got enough. You've got enough. And what else? You've got enough. You've got enough. Got one more little tiny one here. It's a little baby one. Then we'll get the lids put on these. Let's see if we can't make this work. Add just a little bit more to each one. I believe we can, y'all. I believe that's got it. All right, now then, we're going to wipe off the lids. Don't mess with it. Go in there and lay down. We're going to put our rings and our tops on there. We'll go lay down. Quit picking at it. Y'all want to make sure you always wipe off the top ring of your jars anytime you're canning anything. Because if you don't, and there's the least little bit of something on there, it will not seal. And this one has got sticky on it now. I may have to get my little bit wet there to get that sticky off. And you can usually feel around the top and make sure, you know, with your finger as you're wiping it, you can tell if it's got something on there or not, especially if you're doing jellies or jams and it's sticky. All right, we got all of them wiped off. Now let's get the lids on them. Y'all can water bath these for 10 minutes, okay? That's the recommended time. And then they will seal up and be oh so beautiful in a Christmas package, a Christmas gift basket, or for neighbors, church friends. All right, let's get these sealed down good so we can get them all finished off here. These were all new flats. My rings I've used before. But you want to always use new flats. Some people don't. That's okay. I like to. Now then, these can water bath or steam can, either one, for about 10 minutes. That's all you need to do. Water bath, you can just put them in a big heavy pot. Put you some jar rings on the bottom. Stack them in there to where they are covered in water. Let them boil for about 10 minutes and take them out. That's all a water bath is. Or you can put them in the oven at 250 degrees for about 30 minutes. And it does the same thing as a water bath does. So I hope you all enjoyed this video on how to make candy apple butter, red hot candy apple butter. It's my favorite. It's my brother's favorite. And it's so pretty. Look how pretty this is, you all. These jars are hot, but look how pretty. See how pretty, bright, and red that is? Matter of fact, I have to mark it that it's apple butter and not tomatoes. So, like I said, give this at Christmas, anytime during the holidays, to a neighbor or anything. Give it with a loaf of homemade bread or some cookies, or you can do a whole apple themed gift and do some other little mugs and bread and cookies and things that are all apple flavored. But there it is. And I'm going to water bath these for 10 minutes. You all do not need to see me do that. I may just pop them back here in this 250 degree oven, which is probably what I'll do, and let them set about 30 minutes. And then I'll take them out and they will seal up just beautifully. And remember to like, share, subscribe, comment, ring the bell for notifications so you don't miss a video. And that'll be all for this one. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye for now.